It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That, of course, is Lita Ford from her last release. What is it called? The Last of the Runaways?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, I met Lita Ford last summer and hung out and talked to her for a few minutes and, whatnot. And apparently, there's some pretty fucked up shit going on with Lita.
There is, man. Now, I'm going to put a statement in front of this. Everything I'm about to say after this is stuff I heard, is not stuff that I'm reporting as fact. I don't know any facts in this story.
Right.
And neither do you.
I know nothing about this.
Yeah, I mean, part of this is going to be called from the stuff Metal Sludge has done in the last week, and part of it is from, I'll just say, some people that talk to me after.
Okay.
that are somewhat aware of this story.
All right.
So, as I understand it, there's Lita Ford has been bashing Jim Gillette on Facebook.
Okay.
And beating him up about how, and I guess in her book or something as well, something to the effect that Gillette beat her. And that's why they got divorced. That's the story that I've heard. Well, I guess Jim Gillette, who's been, to be honest, up until now, he's been very quiet about the divorce.
Yeah, he's actually, the last thing I heard about Jim Gillette is when he and Lita were still together.
Yeah.
And they were out shilling some kind of a sex toy business or something like that. I think they were actually on Howard Stern.
Were they?
Or they were on O&A or one of those.
One of them, yeah.
And they were shilling this sex toy thing, and they were talking about their, provocative sex life.
Right.
Whatnot. And that was the last I heard of them. I mean, this was way back when that wretched release came out, that her return,
that industrial thing, whatever that was.
that was just terrible. What was it called? Wicked Wonderland.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't long after that, but then that's the last I heard of Jim Gillette.
Yeah, I mean, he disappeared, and from everything I could tell from what's been put out on Sludge, which is where this story really broke, it's because they were in a divorce and there was like some kind of decrees not to talk and blah 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 about, and that's sort of normal in a celebrity divorce. So not a whole lot was made of it until recently. And then recently, I guess Lita has been popping off about Gillette, the best I understand it, and saying that she's brainwashed, or he's brainwashed her kids, and she can't, that's why she can't see her kids, and that Gillette beat her up and knocked her out, and, did all this crazy shit. So I guess Gillette just got tired of it and decided to do an interview about Lita.
Okay.
And he's been really dropping some bombs on Lita. And he's been backing the stuff with posting court documents on Metal Sludge.
Wow.
And that's not good.
No.
When it gets to that level, it's really, really bad.
Yeah, and these are all of public record.
Yeah.
But he's just saving you the effort to have to go on the county or state website or wherever it is that they might be to go look them up yourself.
Exactly. So one of the things that he posted out here is that was to talk about the Lita calling the police and saying that he beat him, and that the kids basically the police came and they made Gillette leave, but they didn't find that he had beat her up, which they didn't. Which he did. Now have you met Jim Gillette before?
I've never met him. No.
Have you seen him in person?
I know what he looks like. I've seen photos of him, but I've never seen him in person. No.
He's a big monster. I mean, he's probably 6.25 feet tall and 275 pounds and absolutely ripped up. And he also trains with like martial artists and UFC guys and stuff.
Right.
So let's be honest. If this guy hit Lita Ford, she would have been knocked the fuck out.
Of course. And I mean, I have that photo that I took with her last summer.
Right.
And you know how tiny she is.
Right.
I mean, she's tiny.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when I met her in person last year, I was absolutely shocked how tiny she is.
She's probably 110 pounds.
Yeah,
maybe.
at least.
Yeah. I mean, she's small.
Yeah, she's a tiny woman. She's like 5 foot, maybe 5'2" at the most.
Right.
And just a tiny girl.
Right. Well, part of this sheriff's report is that, they went over and they told Gillette he had to leave and that the children had to stay with her. And the kids feared for their life to stay with her. I'll read it. This is from the report, from the Broward Sheriff's Office report on July 31st of 2010. It says, I met with James Gillette and Rocco Gillette. Those are the kids. They both began to cry when their father told them he had to leave. They advised they were afraid to being left in the custody of their mother. The boys stated they were afraid their mother would kill them.
Wow.
Holy shit. The boys advised the dad had never struck them or their mother. Sergeant McCormick responded to the scene and spoke with the boys while I observed Mr. Gillette gather his belongings. Mr. Gillette vacated the property without incident. But what is she doing? And this is all speculation at this point. And I mean, Gillette says some stuff and he doesn't really say some stuff, but what the hell is she doing that these kids that are, I mean, I think one of them's 18 and one of them's like 16 now. So take off 5 years, 13 and 7, 8 years old, that they're afraid that they're going to be killed.
Sure.
What the hell is being said in their house?
You got to wonder.
I mean, that's like some scary shit, isn't it?
Yeah. For a preteen to have that concern or fear.
I mean, whoa. That's some scary, scary stuff there. But it goes on and it gets worse. There's talk in here. I don't know if it's in here or if it's what somebody told me. It might be what somebody told me. I think it's what somebody told me. And again, I have no proof that this is real. But I was told that part of the reason she doesn't have custody was that it might have been given away in exchange for cash.
Oh, really? Like she traded her rights for money?
Her rights to her kids for money.
Oh, well.
And for 2 kids, I mean, I don't know, the way this was presented to me was somebody asked me, they're like, you've got kids. How much would you value seeing your kids? What would the dollar value be? And I couldn't put a value on it personally. And I was told it's a whole lot less than what you might think. Like low 5-digit. Can you even fathom that? A mom selling her kids?
Or selling her rights away.
Selling her rights to seeing her kids.
Yeah.
For, for pennies, really. For 25 to 50 grand or whatever.
Sure.
Holy shit. I can't even believe that. But then part of it is, and I guess it came up somewhere, is the lyrics to the song that you just played, the Mother song.
Yeah.
Talks about how Gillette should be killed. The lyric goes, he lies to you and he tries to find should be crucified and left to die.
Right.
He paints an ugly picture of you and die. It's so far from truth. See only when you hurt me, but I love you. But my love for you, I am your mother. So here, I'll be your mom, but I hope your dad is crucified and left to die.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that, that's just amazing to me as far as relationships go.
Yeah.
How, obviously when you first get involved with your significant other, your new significant other, and everything is just wine and roses and great and this and that, and then the relationship moves on to, possibly being married, and then you have kids together and you have a life together to the point to where you despise each other and get to the point to where you wish the other one was just completely dead.
I know. That's just craziness.
I know.
And I just sent you a photo of Gillette.
That's why I stay on the 2 to 5 year plan.
I think I'm going to stay on the pump and dump plan.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Good Lord. I don't want any of this.
Right.
I look at that photo I just sent you.
I saw it. I saw that. That was on Metal Sludge too.
He's huge.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, so I'm not believing for a minute that guy beat her up. If he beat her up, she may not be still out on tour.
Yeah, he could kill her with one punch.
I believe that too.
Yeah, he could rip her head off with one punch, and believe me, she's a tiny girl.
Yeah, she's very small.
Yep.
But anyway, that's the Lita Ford story. It's all out. I mean, there's a lot to it if you're interested in it. There's literally 2 stories that are absolutely huge on Metal Sludge, and you can read them, and there's all kinds. And Gillette's pretty honest. I was surprised how much he put out there.
Yeah.
But he puts out all kinds of stuff that I wouldn't put that out about my wife, my ex-wife,
right.
even.
Well, he just probably, got to the end of his rope with her, her bashing him.
Right.
And it's like, well, let me put an end to this once and for all.
Yeah, no kidding. Oof.